Usually, the idea of being teleported into the grim darkness of the Warhammer 40K setting is a pretty daunting prospect. You might end up being a bog-standard Imperial citizen, grinding out your days in the depths of a hive world with 18-hour work shifts for a barely livable wage. You might be more lucky and become a space marine, getting taken at a young age and being transformed into a genetically enhanced superhuman regarded as a living angel, only to die a horrible, painful death 200 years later at the hands of a roided up intergalactic bug. It's not a great time, unless, of course, you're wealthy. If I had to pick anything to be in this entire franchise, I would 100% want to be a rogue trader. If you know anything about Warhammer 40K, you'll be aware of the extreme power and influence these noble individuals wield. Living a lavish lifestyle while exploring the far reaches of the galaxy, uncovering the rarest of artifacts, and let's be honest, who doesn't want to be a spacefaring Imperial-backed pirate? So today, let's explore the brand spanking new Warhammer 40K video game that lets you do just that. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, where you and your friends can become the noble, wealthy, and absolutely not power-hungry rogue traders you always wanted to be. And a special thanks to Owlcat Games for sponsoring this video. It's my first sponsor, so this is a massive step for me. There's a link in the description if you want to check the game out already, but I recommend watching this video first so you can maximize your fun. I guess the very first question we have to ask is, what is a rogue trader? To be a rogue trader is to be a truly free individual. It is to sail the stars with your entourage of loyal servants while you discover the far reaches of the unknown Milky Way, bringing back shipholds full of ancient artifacts and rare valuables thought lost to humankind's massive empire. To become a rogue trader is to receive an honor with no bounds. But it's not as easy as you might think. You might be born into it, earn your spot as the master of the house, or show exemplary skill that cements you as a true heir to your family's heritage. But being such a free man, or woman, comes with many and, quite frankly, terrifying risks. Every decision you make influences the lives of thousands of people. If you get too spicy, they might revolt, attempt a mutiny, hell, even maybe try to turn you into a Gribbly Chaos spawn. So don't get too excited with your power the moment you start. When you build a name for yourself and show those around you that you are the perfect leader, that's when being a rogue trader really starts to shine. Now to get into the actual gameplay side of things. Rogue Trader is the very first classic CRPG set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, meaning it's like a normal RPG, per example like its original name Twin, but now on PC. Meaning awesome graphics, actual sound effects, rolling dice in game without having to do any actual math, and the lack of a monster-addicted DM that forgot to prepare the session. It is essentially a story-driven, eagle-eyed perspective of your character's journey. You click around making your character do a range of actions, explore the world, talk to incredibly well-written NPCs, do quests, level up, make horrible decisions, explode people in combat, loot their burning corpses, upgrade your gear, and follow along with the overall narrative. Not all CRPGs are created equally though, but luckily for us, Rogue Trader has been developed by Owlcat Games, those guys who made the very enjoyable Pathfinder games. And as they made this game in close partnership with Games Workshop, the makers of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the game is really lore accurate, and as a 40k lore nerd of over a decade myself, fully satisfies my grimdark needs. Of course, as a rich fancy rogue trader, you don't go out pirating alone. Coming along with you on hopefully all of your missions is a rabble of interesting and quite diverse companions who are here to help you out, or give you a massively disappointing performance. Just to give you an idea of the range of what you can play as or who you can hire in this game, here are some of my favorites. Idira Tlas, an unsanctioned diviner psyker. She's a bit insane and hears voices, but her literal lightning coming from her fingertips makes up for her deranged rambles, which, by the way, has some of the best voice acting I have ever heard.
Emperor, accept thy faithful soul. No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing.
Cassia or Celio. Through art and her third eye, she sets the course of your massive ship, making sure you can sail around the dangers in the warp. She can cast an ocean of despair and raw primordial power, slapping around groups of enemies if they get too close. Marazai. Although I'm not usually a fan of knife ears, Marazai is honestly just such a fucking beast. He's a Drukhari, or Dark Eldar if you want to be old school, from the depths of Komorrah, meaning he's lightning fast and shreds anything he gets close to. He's a bit of a nasty guy though, so make sure to keep an eye on him. Ulfar. So of course, this game allows you to take a wild and wandering space wolf in your crew. He's an absolute tank in power armor, so just point him at anything that needs to die and he will definitely do the job. And lastly, Sister Argenta, my beloved. A warrior of the Adepta Sororita, Argenta is a bolt gun toting nun with a real dedication to the Emperor. She's a solid all-rounder, easily taking a hell of a beating and just casually shrugging it off once you level her up enough. Besides these set of characters, there are a bunch more characters to choose from. You have a ship seneschal, a tech priest, an inquisitor, an Eldari ranger, and even a cult raider. Which also reminds me, I have something I forgot to mention. The character you make and play as, once you boot up the game, has an insane array of options to personalize. You get to pick their world of origin, path in life, profession, looks, bionic upgrades, and even a voice. And as each of them have a dozen or so options, you can spend hours in the character creation screen perfectly remaking your version of Henry Cavill. In the 41st millennium, warring factions from ancient civilizations and upstart empires fight endless battles across innumerable worlds. Humanity stands alone, beset on all sides by the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. There is no mercy, there is no respite, and in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. But not all hope is lost. Although the million Imperial worlds are put under immense strain, there is still room for expansion. Certain regions, like the Coronus Expanse, have not yet been explored. Depositories of rare minerals needed for the upkeep of humanity have not yet been delved, and rich, stable worlds are yet to be settled. This is where you come in. You are the young, bright, and absolutely rightful heir to the powerful rogue trader dynasty of von Valancius. It is your goal to not only explore and conquer the Coronus Expanse, but you are also here to bring honor to your name. You are given a ship with a mighty crew, ranging in the tens of thousands of loyal men, women, and servitors. You are given the family's warrant of trade, allowing you almost unrestricted access to almost anything you want to do, and giving you a high enough rank to visit planets as you like, or even establish colonies of your own if you don't like what you see. Now, as this is 40k, the Coronus Expanse is not a safe place. The Warp, which is a mirror dimension of our own, a literal hell of pure energy with demonic entities, is highly active in this area, making travel not only hard and dangerous, but leading to the rise of dozens of chaos demon-worshipping cults throughout the Expanse. Coronus is also just absolutely filled with Xenos incursions, meaning that at every turn and every risky decision, your crew might have to face dangers you didn't think would actually be in this game. I don't want to spoil too much, but there are freaking demon engines and chimerae you can run into. I do want to note though, the grim darkness of the setting has been captured amazingly well. The servitors look properly lobotomized, and the surroundings and maps are incredibly high detail with the perfect amount of gothic detail. And to top all of this off, the ship-to-ship combat is very reminiscent of what 40k fans have absolutely loved for decades. Owlcat stayed truthful to the lore, and I very much appreciate that. To get a bit more in depth with the actual game, here are some of the factors where I believe Rogue Trader truly shines. From pretty early on, you are presented with a myriad of paths your characters and crew can follow. You might want to be incredibly dogmatic, slowly but surely making those around you more extreme in their judgment, but keeping it true to the Emperor's litanies. You could also be a bit more heretical, stooping down a one-way road to either unlimited power or eternal damnation and shame to your household. Whichever path you choose to go with, the gameplay slowly changes to reflect this. The interactions with your fellow companions might be affected, your ship slowly changes in the way it looks, and even planets you visit might have vastly different tones and details, showing the exact consequences of your gradual real-time decisions. The combat is also a massive highlight for me. The layouts are clean, enemies are outlined when you hold the tab key, you can rotate your camera to easily establish a plan of attack, and the isometric based turns, as this game is turn based, make for a really fun back and forth between you and the enemy. The little bar on the left keeps it easy to keep track of who gets to go first, and the user interface has a range of options and abilities to partake in the fight. I personally love combining Sister Argenta with the rapid fire ability and her trusty bolt gun. There's just something so satisfying about seeing a bolt gun unload 8 massive shells into a chaos spawn. To build on all of that, all weapons, voice lines, actions, animations, and even environments have an amazing depth to them. The bolt gun sounds like it should, the power axe has a nice zap to it, and some of the voice lines give me actual goosebumps in real life. Lastly, character design is also definitely a plus. For me, this is usually what makes or breaks a 40k game, but these models look like my own miniatures in real life. Anyone and everything from your basic servitors all the way to the massive Mauler Fiend has some crisp, nice, accurate detail to it. And if you crank up your settings, the lightning and particle effects from their little engines and steaming guns really bring them to life. So, for the conclusion of this video, I hope by now you have a good base understanding of what Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader entails. I think it's a great experience so far, and honestly I am super hyped to go play the co-op campaigns together with my friends, and seeing what all of you guys think of this new 40k game. If you want to play this game yourself, or maybe even want to invite your friends, there's a link down in the description below that takes you right to the store page. You can play it on Steam, the Xbox Series S and X, and the PlayStation 5. So even if you don't have a PC, you can still play this game together with your friends. I appreciate you guys watching. This is a massive step for me, so I hope you liked it. Remember to drink enough water, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.